This is Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and I'm bringing you a review for LEGO The Incredibles on the PlayStation 4. And in this first week of its release, I've managed to play through the entire main story, which clocked in around 8 hours. I unlocked all of the Pixar build characters, collected all of the Incredibricks, made some custom characters, and even went back and did a few missions in free play. So needless to say, I've experienced pretty much everything this game has to offer. With all that said, let's go ahead and get into the review. I would say anyone that's played a LEGO game pretty much knows what they're getting into with the graphics. Even though this title released alongside the movie, it didn't seem like they took any shortcuts or cut any corners in any capacity of this game, and this goes with the graphics as well. I didn't notice any sort of graphical issues while playing, but I will say it doesn't seem like they really tried to improve or go that extra mile in this category. There were no mind-blowing segments or incredible spectacular looking boss battles. No particular eye candy to speak of, and very little in dazzling special effects. The menus and the text were particularly crisp, the end mission loading screens were slick, but this pretty much looks like any other LEGO game that you may or may not have played in the last few years. It would be hard not to say it's a little disappointing that there wasn't more done with the next generation hardware or to improve upon an already decent LEGO formula. This is my biggest gripe with this game. The soundtrack on here is nothing short of craptastic. While playing through a couple missions, I actually had to pause the game to make sure I had the music turned on, because I actually couldn't even tell if there was music playing. This is one super quiet game in long stretches of some missions, which is not a good thing when you're playing a game like this. It can turn a really fun section into a really boring one in a hurry. Now, of course, you could turn your own music on to compensate, but anytime someone recommends playing your own music to play a game, that should be a huge red flag that something is definitely lacking here. The sound effects were good, the voice acting was great. Like any other LEGO game, they pulled direct audio from the movies to play out during the animated LEGO cutscenes, and the voice actors to throw out the random one-liners while playing did a great job. And unlike LEGO Marvel 2, there is no staticky, lispy-like noise when the characters talk. Overall, they could have definitely ramped up the soundtrack to improve the fun factor on here. So you pretty much know what you're getting with the graphics, and now that you know that the soundtrack's kind of lacking in this game, the question is it still fun to play? And the answer I'm going to have to go with is it kind of depends on your age and what you're looking to get out of this game. If you have a friend to play along with you, then hands down, it's an awesome co-op experience. The puzzles and the level designs scream for two people to play it, and LEGO games are built on the co-op foundation, especially if you're a parent trying to play with your kid. This is all for you. Now, the puzzles are ridiculously easy. I would say a 7 or an 8-year-old would breeze right through this game with little trouble trying to crack the LEGO code here. In my entire blind playthrough, I only got stuck once for a few minutes, and that was simply because I forgot that I had a character that could cross through a laser beam section. So it wasn't so much of a tricky puzzle as my own bad memory that got in the way. Outside of that, this is a super easy, super relaxed game. Even in the realm of LEGO titles, this one's pretty easy. That doesn't stop the game from being fun to play, even as an adult. I don't spend all of my gaming time playing easy games, but it is nice to have a change of pace from everything else, especially if you just got finished playing some Dark Souls. And if you like the Incredibles movies, then it's inevitable that you will enjoy playing this title. My second biggest complaint with this game is that your first 2 hours of an 8-hour story comes with relatively no major boss battles. You're doing just puzzles, random fights, and platforming. To me, that was absolutely shocking to play such a long stretch of a game like this without a much needed boss battle to mix things up. Another confusing choice was this game has 12 major levels and 1 bonus level, but the first 6 stages are based around the second movie, which just released, and the last half of the game is based on the first movie, which came out like a decade ago. This was an extremely odd choice. It's almost like you're playing a game backwards, and it really doesn't make sense why it was done that way. At the end of the day, once the dust has settled, I would say this is an awesome rental. It would be worth a disc purchase if you really love LEGO games or The Incredibles movie, but I would play through it fast and get ready to exchange it for some store credit, as there really isn't a reason to continue playing after you've cleared all the content, which could take a week or two depending on how much time you invest in it. Unlike LEGO Marvel, there's no battle arena, there's no extra modes, there's really not a complex or deep customizer to make creative characters. I was able to make a handful of noteworthy characters, but there just isn't a lot of room for imagination with that aspect. For more coverage of this title, including a full commentary walkthrough, visit ReviewZoneHD, which is going to be in the description. Feel free to share your own thoughts of this game or this review in the comments. This is Zero, and as always, thanks for stopping by.